Hi everybody, this is Dominic Massaro again. Just wanted to follow up my previous video with one that talks more about post-surgery life and some of the diet things that I've come across that have helped me out. Um, I guess I can start off by telling you that most of what I use or kind of go by are the testimonials that I've looked on online, and I certainly take those suggestions to the nutritionist at the surgery center that I went to and run them by, make sure that they're safe and accurate. But I can't, underestimate the value of everybody else's experience that have gone through surgeries like this. And I highly recommend looking at as many videos as you can as you're post-surgery or you're still looking to possibly do the surgery. I try my best not to make this as long and painful as the video that I just did, so sorry about that. I guess I'll briefly go over the first couple of weeks. I can vaguely remember them now, but initially, you drink as much water as you can, and then you try to get some liquid proteins down for the first, I guess, 6 weeks or so. I can't remember exactly, the length of time that you have to do all the different phases, but you'll be very familiar with this scenario. Every diet you've ever taken asks you to have, or gives you do this for this many weeks, and you can only do this diet like HCG for 45 days or whatever it is. So you'll be very familiar with these deadlines. For the first 6 weeks you can only have liquids. Whatever your doctor tells you your situation has to be. Then you go to soft foods, and then you can start roping in different sorts of solid foods and things like that. The advice I could give you with that is it's just the protein is the key here. You're obviously going to have vitamins and things that you need to take, which are important. Proteins are typically what I've seen, and the people in my support groups that I've gone to, that's the singular hardest thing to try to incorporate is this 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. Some doctors I know are say between 60 and 80. For the most part, I think it's safe that everyone should be doing 80 to 100. That's what the center that I went to is very high on for men, 80 to 100 a day. That's very difficult at the very beginning. The drink that I kind of went to was the IsoPure drinks that you can get from GNC or Vitamin Shop or any of these other places. They have 7, 10, something like that, different flavors that you can go to. I liked the grape the most. Green apple wasn't that bad. It's got a little tart taste to it no matter what that you do. The green apple, being that I was expecting it to be tart, was manageable for me. I just took just a largest cup I could find actually the one that I took from the hospital, and I used that and just kept filling it up all day. A single IsoPure glass bottle that they come in, I think, has around 40 to 45 grams of protein. I certainly wasn't getting 2 of those down at the beginning. I was barely getting anything down, really. It's not a matter of throwing it up or upset stomach. It's just you realize quickly that very little sips at first, fill you up very quickly. So, the shakes that you graduate to, the nectar shakes, the EAS shakes, I just don't like them. So especially when you have to sip on them for 4 or 5 hours. It's a warm milkshake, just to me, doesn't really do much, or smoothie, or it just doesn't. It's hard for me to do. So I did IsoPures pretty much regularly for the first 4 or 5 weeks, and tried the little protein shots. I can tell you they're pretty much pointless. My nutritionist will tell you that version of whey is not something that your body naturally absorbs. So they're almost pointless. They're almost pointless. I think the max you can get out of them is 15 grams. So 15, by the way, is very valuable when you're first doing this. So definitely try them if you can, but you're not getting all 45 grams, and it tastes like absolute crap, to be honest with you. They're terrible tasting. I did find some that were 28 grams, about half the size. I got them at the Walgreens. But as soon as I found out that that version or that formulation of the whey protein isn't really absorbable by your body like other pieces are, I quickly stopped it. Um, I got through that section of the soft foods and the liquids as fast as, obviously, it seems like it takes forever, but now you look back on it, it's just a snap of fingers, So do your best to get those in. I liked my soft food choice was maple brown sugar, weight control, um, um, oatmeal. That was what I just loved. I've always been a fan of oatmeal anyway. That and grits. There were when I could eat some solid foods that really tasted good. So that's what I did for a few weeks after that. My weight initially was so fast. It just came off so fast. I think I lost about 40 or 50 pounds in the first month. Just, obviously on the liquid diet, you're not putting a lot into your body, but I never felt tired, weak, or anything. In fact, I'd wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning not being able to go back to sleep. Of course, it's difficult to sleep if you're a stomach sleeper like I am. But I was up at 3 or 4 in the morning walking and walking in my house, I'd watch TV, but I'd do it in the living room, walking around, just to make sure I got activity. I really took that to heart. I didn't want any issues with blood clots in the legs or anything like that. So, I chose to be more of a someone who walked quite a bit, and as soon as I got outside, I tried to do as much of it outside as I could. Couple of things: if you have the catheter like I did in the stomach, that once that comes out, it's a little bit more comfortable around your incisions. Definitely after a couple of weeks when your staples have come out, that's even more comfortable. You'll find some issues with getting in and out of bed because you're stretching this area of 4 or 5 incisions. So that's something you're gonna have to deal with. I would just say the more you do, the better it gets. If you're one of those people who just don't like the discomfort, I would tell you fight through it, because the more you don't get used to the stretching out, the harder it's going to be each time. I remember just some days there was a day or two that I just was kind of lazy around the house, and I know that was even harder every time you try to get up. You're definitely going to have people help you in and out of bed, help put on the little leg straps that they give you to keep the blood flowing in the legs. But all of that goes by pretty easily and pretty smoothly. I don't think anybody should fear that part of this. You're so just completely consumed with how much weight that you're losing. I was losing 2 or 3 pounds a day, and didn't feel weak. In fact, I felt I was getting stronger and more energetic. And all of us that have been on these diets like Atkins and HCG and those other real fast weight loss things, that's the pull, right? I mean, you get the juices flowing with how much weight you're losing. It's kind of hard not to be excited about it. But as long as you're keeping up with the protein, I would say vitamins and protein, number 1 and number 2. Number 3, and a close 3, would just be liquids. Make sure you're drinking enough liquid. I still have to make myself drink more liquids than I normally do. Back in the day, before we did all this, I loved ice cold water or ice cold Gatorade or whatever it was, and I could drink a big cup like this, in about 20 seconds. Now that takes me 4 or 5 minutes. Back before, right after surgery, it's going to take you all day. You have to work your way into it. There's a lot of things on here. I hear people that can't, after the surgery, can't eat certain foods, that your body just rejects them, whether that's all you ate before or not. Somebody that I leaned on pretty heavily before I did the surgery about how things went for them, how things went for this person. They still aren't able to eat bread. Anything more than a nibble here and there. So I was curious to see what foods are going to be like that for me. I'll tell you, I'm a very picky eater. I mean, everything I liked was terrible for me, but I didn't eat cooked vegetables. I liked fresh foods and things like that. I just didn't like anything cooked. So I have a limited menu anyway of things that I would eat. But I can tell you, I would like, red onions in my salad every once in a while. I liked garlic mashed potatoes and things like that. Garlic and onions for me immediately upset my stomach. Not to where I would throw things up, but just I can't do them even now. So I avoid them completely. I will tell you that I took the I took the chewable vitamins. You know, they're about the size of a nickel. You know, about as thick as about 3 of them. So that's about how big they were. They were chewable. I quickly couldn't do that. In the morning, you know, in general, people will tell you that whether you've had surgery or not, in the morning, your stomach is a lot more acidic. I think that's the right way to describe it, and so it's harder to take down certain foods. I tried the chewable vitamins in the morning, and I actually threw it up a couple of times. My stomach doesn't do well with anything chalky. You know, I haven't tried them since. I went to a gummy version that I found out later wasn't exactly everything I should have been taking. Biotin isn't in it, and there's certain vitamin Ds that aren't in it. They just simply can't make them taste good enough to put in a gummy vitamin. But for the first 2 months, 2.5 months, I was on a pure gummy vitamin that tasted great. But I do think I was missing out on some of the nutritional values of some of the other vitamins. Since then, now that I'm swallowing vitamins whole, I do a prenatal vitamin, Spring Nature Valley, whatever it is from Walmart, and I get all the vitamins. I do prenatal. I do one in the morning. I do one at night before I go to bed. I also do a D3 supplement to bring that, I believe, around 3,000 to 5,000 micrograms a day. I think it's micrograms, milligrams, micrograms, whatever the bottle says. Plus, they'll tell you your body's going to go through some issues. One of them is possibly hair loss. My nutritionist, set the table very well for me, and said if you start losing your hair, it's because of the first couple months of something you're not doing right. There will be some hair loss just because of the drastic change that you've done in calorie intake and things like that. But most changes happen because of something you've done over a couple of months. So it's going to take a couple of months to correct it. So I went on and added biotin, 5,000 micrograms a day. It comes in one small little pill. I mean, the size of a Tic Tac, if not smaller. So I do that every morning. I do that once a day. I've just started that over the last week or two. So I'll keep you updated on whether I see the hair loss. As you can see, I don't really have much of a hair problem at all. So I don't think it'll be noticeable. But I'll keep tabs on that for you because I know some people have posted that. I don't have a skin issue of any kind. I'm very fortunate in that area. We'll see as I'm looking to lose another 60 or 70 pounds to be around that 200 mark before this is all over. But I mentioned earlier in my last video that, I've kind of plateaued, and I certainly have. I lost, I got down to 280 within 2.5 months. It was very, very quick. And when you're 370, you're like, hey, I can live my life at 270, 280, and I think I probably could. But my objective here is to be, to spend one day at 199.9. I just want to know what that feels like. Maybe I can't get there. I don't know. When I played tennis in college, I was around 215, 220. Size 36 waist. I didn't feel like I was too big of a guy. But I do know that I probably could have dropped another 20, but we'll see where that goes. Right now I'm at 268, which is 101 pounds from my highest before I went into surgery. And I've plateaued. I've lost about 15 pounds over the last 45 days. I go weeks without losing any. But let me go over why that is. There's another gentleman that's on here that went to the same surgeon that I did. And he's... I wouldn't say I took his advice. I don't think it was advice. I think it was just his mentality was something that I've done. I have not watched my food intake of what I'm eating. I don't. I haven't since I've started eating solid foods. The only thing I concentrate on is protein. I know that my vitamins give me the nutrients that I need. So I don't need to be someone. I don't think we need to be people who say I have to eat salads every meal. Protein is number one, along with vitamins, and then also hydrating yourself. So those are the big keys for me. I know right now that if I were eating better, that I would be lower. I was really hoping to be around 240 at this point, so I'm about 30 pounds behind. Certainly not complaining about being 101 down in 5 months. I want to average 20 pounds a month, and fortunately the spike that I had initially has now brought me back to 20 pounds a month. But and by no means am I disappointed by it, because I know I've eaten whatever I've wanted. I go out to eat and share meals with my wife, with my family. Um, the, uh, the focus being on protein. I drink Gatorade. I don't drink G2. I tried it. I don't like it. I drink Gatorade, and I know that that's probably not the best. I drink unsweetened iced tea with the caffeine. No no decaffeinated for me. I drink normal unsweet iced tea. I don't drink any sugar drinks other than Gatorade. So I drink water, Gatorade, and unsweetened iced tea. That's really my regimen of liquids. I do have a new sweet tooth that I never had before. I don't like candies much, but these little snack chocolates. I never liked chocolate before. I don't eat a lot of it now, but I do see myself with 4 or 5 Hershey's Kisses or things like that with almonds in it that I like to snack on. Um, I've always liked oatmeal cream pies in the past. Now they're just a very soft food that goes down and with no issues. And I do think that could be a problem for me moving forward. We're going on vacation next week. I stopped that for a week or two just to see what would happen. The truth is I was eating an oatmeal cream pie every day, sometimes two, and I never gained any weight. I stayed the same. I would go down 1 or 2 pounds, but and I do go through the sweets aisle, the bakery sections of the grocery stores here, and if there's something there, I'll get it, and it'll take me a couple weeks to finish it. But in the past where I could finish it in a day, to be completely honest with you, and I think we all know what that's all about. But talking about the foods that I eat, I don't eat out near as much. I don't really want to. I do have a 21-month-old daughter, so going out to eat isn't exactly what we can do all the time. But go to Chili's and split a meal with my wife. I can't eat mashed potatoes anymore. That's one thing that just doesn't sit well with me. I do have a favorite Greek yogurt. It's kind of it's a higher calorie intake. It's not a diet yogurt of any kind. It's I can't remember the name of it. You get them at Walmart for $1 a piece, $1.20 a piece. They're Greek yogurts. I get the black cherry version because that's the only one that really mixes in with the Greek yogurt, and the other ones are basically just white Greek yogurt with the little pieces of fruit in it. I want a little bit more of a sweet taste. Greek yogurt's too sour for me. I do that in the morning. That's 15 grams of protein. I have a cup and a half of homemade chili, which is around 30 grams of protein. And I do a Ostrom bar 2 or 3 times a day. In fact, let me go grab one of those for you. Hold on 1 second here. All right, sorry, I don't know how to pause these things. So this is what I eat. If you can see that, it's the Ostrom bar. So this it's not a bar; it's just a little beef snack. This is just an ounce and a half. 2 of these fit in my stomach if I really wanted to eat them. 14 grams of protein. So if I had 2 of these, that's 30. My morning yogurt is another 15, so you're looking at about 45. I have 30 in my chili. That puts me up to around 75, and then whatever I eat for dinner, probably another 10 or 15. So I'm at that 80 mark pretty much every single day. And I make homemade chili. I make it with regular dark kidney beans. I get the 96 4 ground hamburger beef, lean beef. There's some calories in there for sure, but I know protein is the biggest part of what I'm looking to do. So that's usually how I do it. I used to go to Smoothie King and get their Gladiator shake, which had 45, 50 grams of protein in it. And then my nutritionist said that your body can only really absorb up to 30 an hour. So you get one of those medium things, you can take those down in an hour, no problem, but you're really not getting any more than 30. Still a good viable source of protein. It's sweet and it's good. Some calories in there. You can always tell them to hold the sweetener. or use some alternative sweeteners if you're really concerned about that. Um, we're coming up on the 20-minute mark. I've stalled. I know why I've stalled. I play softball. I play golf. I walk the neighborhood with my wife and my daughter. Um, I've not made any really efforts to eat salads and fresh vegetables. I do like to eat bananas and grapes and other fruits like that. I snack when I want to snack. I don't eat this, regimented palette of food, which I know would definitely help if I wanted to lose more weight. And part of this gentleman that, and I don't want to call any names out here, that I've kind of followed a little bit. It's not Big Nick. Big Nick, not talking about you. You're my chili guy, man. You told me about chili, and I love chili, so that's been a great help for me. But there's another gentleman out there who talks about stalling and knowing that it's because he's not eating salads and fresh fruits for every meal and really going that direction. I eat what I want. I haven't gained a pound. No matter what, I don't ever gain a pound. And sure, the scale goes up and down. We all know that, a couple pounds here and there. But I've continually lost weight. When I plateau, I still lose inches, and I know that for a fact. I've been between 268 and 275 for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Just recently dipped under 270, and I'm smaller clothes-wise than I was 2 weeks ago. I know that for a fact. I just was fitted for a suit, and went into that store. By the way, getting clothes off the rack is at a normal store is, you'll never get tired of that. That's really cool. But I'm a big golfer, and the golf shirts that I wear, 3 weeks ago, I thought, man, I'm 20 pounds away from fitting into that. Today I'm wearing a shirt that I know I didn't come close to fitting into 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, and my nutritionist told me that too. Your weight, your body will always kind of keep changing. I've done this eating proportions. I talked about in my other video, I had a piece of pizza. It doesn't feel that great to eat a piece of pizza. It really doesn't, but I feel like I need to go order a piece of pizza and I'll get it. If I go out to a restaurant, initially I would order my own food thinking, oh, I'll just take it home. I'm so past that. One of the things I really hated to do, 2 or 3 weeks after surgery, I still had this old mentality of I'll never get to eat and be satisfied ever again. And I think a couple of days it really got to me, and I got depressed about it because food's been such a big part of me and my family's life for so long that was going to go away, and I was really sad about it, which is really sad to be sad about it. But I can tell you that goes away, and I told you about it in my other video. It completely goes away. I don't eat fried foods anymore. They just don't feel good. I think all of us have had that moment where you've eaten so much of one food, whether it's, fried fish and you get a fish basket and hush puppies and fries, and then you just get that, no matter how much we eat, back in the old days, you felt, you would get to that gross out point where you couldn't eat any more fried foods. That feeling gets to you after 2 bites of fried foods now. And you're not even sad about it. You really sit there and think, God, I don't want that anymore. Why did I order fries with this meal when I know I'm only going to eat half of a kid's burger? And, initially I really hated the idea of eating off a kid's menu. My surgeon gave me a little card that says, hey, present this to your waiter or waitress and let them know. And it says, this is a bariatric patient. Please allow them to eat off the senior or the kid's meal. And I thought, kids' meals suck. There's no filet mignon on a kid's meal. It's a hamburger and a corn dog, even if you're going to the nicest restaurants. Now I really don't care. I'm really there for the fellowship, whether I'm with friends or whether with my family, spending time with those guys. I feel bad. I look at what my wife's eating, what my daughter's eating, and go, God, you guys are eating a ton of food. And in actuality, they're really not. They're just, to me, it seems like a lot of food. So I don't at all regret any of it. There's no panic whatsoever. I have no issues. I'm the guy, if I do order my own meal, even if it's a kid's meal, I look at it and think, how am I going to eat all this food? Father's Day, went to this great Mexican restaurant here in Dallas with my in-laws, and ordered a kid's meal. I think it was flautas. Comes with one flauta, but that big, that round. It's got some chicken in it. Got a little refried beans on the side and a little bit of lettuce with some sour cream on it. Looking at a plate that's literally, it's a kid's meal. It's that big. I'm looking at it when they put it down. I'm thinking, I can't eat this. So I eat half of a flauta, I eat a little bit of the little gordita my wife got, and I'm done. I'm looking around saying, anybody want this? I can't eat any more of this, and that's just, I get a kick out of it. I love it. Any of those concerns I had before, guys, they're completely gone. So um, I'm trying to think of anything else that I've gone through. I'm sure there is. I tried to talk to you guys a little bit about the liquid proteins, the little shots. If I were you, I'd stay away from them. Really try to get. There's some others that I've looked to for inspiration, and some tutelage on eating here on YouTube. They talk about eating 4 or 5 meals a day. I wouldn't call them meals. I mean, I'm about to eat this guy. I had a bowl of chili about an hour ago. Actually, I might go try to, not eating and drinking at the same time. I guess, is something I can talk to you about. I thought that was kind of weird. Why is that a rule? I don't think it's more of a rule. I think it's just what your body won't let you do anymore. I learned what works for me is when I go to a restaurant, I'll order a Pepsi or a Sprite. I have no problems with carbonation whatsoever. In fact, I like sodas more than I did before. Can't drink a whole can or anything like that. Sometimes I can if I drink over about an hour or so. But like, for instance, after golf, I like to go out with my buddies and go to a couple establishments, and I like a Mountain Dew. For some reason, after golf, I like a Mountain Dew. And as long as I drink that and then wait 15, 20 minutes and then eat, I'm completely fine. The flip side is not at all okay with me. I can't drink 15 minutes after I've eaten a meal, especially if it's a chili or something heavy, some high protein stuff, shrimp or steak, chicken, something like that. I don't have the abilities to drink after that. So I have to wait after I eat probably 30 minutes to an hour to really drink normally and feel good. Now water and beverages go in and out of you pretty quick, so you can drink all day long. I kind of keep this. I just got this for my birthday, but I usually fill this up. This has probably got about 20 ounces in here, and I'll probably go fill that up. I can drink a 20-ounce Gatorade on the golf course in 10 minutes. I don't really have any issues. I'll tell you, drinking fast now is not nearly what it was before surgery. I think I could probably drink a half a gallon of whatever I wanted before, but now it's just basically, I try to drink all day. Sometimes I find myself not drinking enough, and you'll feel things. One of the things that my nutritionist that hit home with me that they told us in one of our classes was, if you feel when you get up too fast and you feel lightheaded, it's more than likely just dehydration. It's not really, you don't need to be too concerned. Obviously go get something checked out if you need to. Don't take my word, especially any kind of medical advice. But I found with me that when I would get up and I would be a little dazed, lightheaded, it was because I would look back and think, how much have I drank today, and realize I haven't drank anything since 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's 3 in the afternoon. I realized you don't. It's just not like before when you're looking for something to eat and drink all day long. You're not. You've got to really force yourself. I love chili, so I know I really do look forward to noon, 1 o'clock, and dinner. I'll eat chili twice a day if I have to. It's really just a little soup bowl, a couple cups if I'm really hungry. Even though that's probably some wasted protein there, I should probably split that up a little bit, but I don't. But anyway, beef jerky. It's got high calories in it, but again, calories are secondary to me. I don't eat a lot. I mean, even if I were to add up all the sweets that I eat on the worst day, if I have a muffin in the morning and a piece of banana bread at lunch and a couple cookies at night, add all that up, I'm probably around 2,000, 2,500 calories on my worst day. So I'm not really too concerned with it. I will start picking up running here just because I want to get down. I want to lose weight now. I just want to lose more. But that's really all I've got at this point. Sum it up, just get through that first couple of months, and it's just your life's different. I ended last video with telling you about how different your life is. You know, I'm sure it's different for everybody. Me, I've never had this life. I can't remember being a young enough, or how young I was when I ate and didn't think about eating. You know, I ate because it was time to eat, and then I would go do something else. You know, food and time to eat and worrying about what I'm going to eat, how much I'm going to eat, and I had to be satisfied on every meal. I just don't care anymore, honestly. You know, I wake up more energized. I go to sleep better. Oh, I did want to mention, should have done this in the beginning of the video. It was very difficult for me to sleep after surgery. I slept on my stomach, and you can't do it. Anybody that had to do one of these obnoxious sleep studies where they make you sleep on your back, by the way, my doctor said, you know, whatever, don't do that. They tried to charge me $2,800, $3,000 for a sleep study. I did one, whatever. So afterwards, you've got these incisions. You know, I have 5 incisions, plus where the catheter went in, up higher. That was hard. I can't sleep on my back. It's very difficult. So that was hard for me. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I didn't really find myself tired during the day. I mean, I was very fortunate to have a couple weeks off, actually about 3 weeks off of work before after my surgery. So there are a couple things you need to be aware of. I don't know if all of the surgeons do it the same way, but if on my right side of my stomach, there's a larger incision, I'd say a couple inches long, the one that's probably the darkest on my skin. That one always felt tight and painful. I would lay down when I started getting comfortable after the staples and the catheters out and all that kind of stuff. When I would roll over, I would feel tightness right there. Well, apparently, my surgeon's response to this is that incision goes across the fibers of either the muscle or the tissue that's there. These over here are with it, with the grain, if you will. This one is against it. So when you sew this one up, it has to be sewn on a little tighter because you're against the grain. Imagine how you're cutting a steak. With the grain is very linear and easy to spread open. With this one, it's tighter, and you're going to feel that when you sleep on your stomach. It's not a pain. Obviously, go to the doctor if you feel pain and it's not comfortable. My situation was, I was having discomfort laying on that side, so I would go to my side a little bit, but not too much. But it was all because that muscle takes a little longer to heal. After about 3 months, I had no issues whatsoever. I play softball. I play golf as hard as I swing as hard as I need to. I have no discomfort at all. 60 days out, I was doing anything and everything I wanted to. I'm certainly cognizant of the fact that I have the surgery now, and I don't need to be diving around as much as I used to. I'll wait a year out before I start doing that. But anyway, I hope that helped. Beef jerky, chili. This life is good. It feels great. I'm not near where I want to be. I've seen the videos of everybody else. It's 2 years out that you get really small, and then you kind of work your way back up to where a comfortable weight is. One of the great ones that's on here, I can't remember his name, that went down to about 158. I'll never be that small, but is around 270, 275. Oh, sorry, 170, 175 now. So he's about 10, 15 pounds above his lowest. I'm going a little different. I'm not going gung-ho. I'm not out here running 5 miles and trying to really get low as I can. I don't feel the need to do that. I feel very comfortable with the weight loss that I'm having. We'll talk in a month and see if that's still the same. But my goal is to be around 210, 215. If I can get into the mode and it's healthy, I'll try to get to 199.9 just to say I've been there and I've done it. It's a challenge that I have with myself, but I'm going to do it through working out and eating right. I'm definitely not going to do it by just getting small. Big Nick, one of the guys that's on here that absolutely I owe a lot of this to. Probably will never know that. Probably won't ever see this video, but you know, I really took to heart his protein. You know, I got to catch him a year and a half after he was done, and he got small and realized that, you know, the protein and the muscle loss was a little concerning for him. So I've taken that to heart before I even did my surgery, that protein was going to be a big part of what I did. And I would sacrifice calories for protein. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not, but that's what I'm doing. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you staying on. Here I am telling you I wasn't going to go 30 minutes again, and it's 35 minutes. So I'll cut this short by a minute or two. Now that I've kind of gotten everybody caught up to where I'm at, I will try to make these a little shorter and as I go forward. But, you know, good luck to everybody that's out there. Gastric Sleeve is a life changer for me. I have zero regrets. Scratch that, I have one. I wish I would have done it 5 years ago, because I missed out on 5 years of my life, and a year and a half of that was my little daughter, that I know I could have been more active with, and I could have been at more birthday parties and more events and been more active with her. I sorely, I'm ashamed that I didn't do it faster. Certainly wish I would have been able to do it without the surgery, but I can't, and I wasn't. And this is an answered prayer for me. I will, you know, I will be forever indebted to my insurance company for providing a $30,000-$40,000 procedure for me. Out of my pocket was $2,000. I would have paid 10, 20, 30. This is a priceless thing for me. So, you know, I'm not totally in, you know, I'm not a political, I don't like to push my political views on anybody else, but, you know, if you have this in your insurance policy and it costs you anything less than $10,000 out of pocket, I would tell you I would pay $10,000 a year for the rest of my life if it meant that I could live the life that I'm leading now. And I'm not even close to where I want to be. I'm 60 pounds away from where I want to be. Do it. It's worth it. Your family will benefit from it. No more yo-yo diet crap where you feel so wonderful about something and you turn around and then you're embarrassed because you gained it all back. That's just that's no way to live. I would just tell you, I am so thankful for what I did, and, you know, obviously thankful for my family and, you know, wife and daughter. You know, my daughter has no clue how much she helped me, but I mentioned it earlier. This kid was holding my gown as I was walking up and down the hallway. Those sort of things just keep you motivated. And maybe you don't have kids and you don't even have a wife. I mean, let's just, man, get into it. Let's do it. Get in there. Ping me, find me. I'll do whatever I can to help you out. I think I'm so for this procedure and changing your life when you just know you can't. You can't do it on your own. You know, maybe you can, but that's great. You'll always fight it. It's like a drug addict. Well, this is an opportunity to take that part of your brain and say, leave, get out, because I don't need you telling me I need to eat more when clearly I don't. So good luck out there, guys. You know, maybe nobody watches these, I don't know, but here, you know, we'll give it a whirl, and I'll try. You know, I like to talk, so obviously you're seeing that by how long this thing goes. Take care, everybody. Wish you the best, and see you in a month or so.